I understand that there were no character witnesses called.
No.
No.
Were there any witnesses called?
No, not for our side.
You put on no defense. You called no witnesses. Why?
I had a list that I sent to my lawyer of character witnesses that would have been more than happy to speak on Blake's behalf, and they never did call any witnesses for us.
Well, Vincent Campiti is here. He is Levi's attorney. So you represented Levi.
I did.
Right? And that's April's son. Was there no defense put on here?
I think there was a defense, and defense came clearly through the cross-examination, the argument with regards to jury instructions, et cetera. When you talk about a defense, meaning witnesses, the question becomes a bit different, and the idea as to whether or not these boys were thugs goes to whether or not they had criminal backgrounds. With regards to Levi himself, I got testimony from one of the investigating officers, admitted my client had no prior criminal history, no prior juvenile criminal history, other than something related to a fight he had at school. When we talk about witnesses themselves, the only witnesses were the boys themselves. They were tried together. Their statements could not be used against one another based on what the prosecutor had to offer because of various case law in Indiana. The way the law was set up in this case, our frank philosophy from my perspective was, I believe we have a 50-50 chance. Really what you're going in for is hoping, and I don't disagree with you, Dr. Phil, that yes, it would have been great to have several people there to talk about the kids, their backgrounds, et cetera, but frankly, none were willing to come forward.
Okay, listen, I'm not trying to armchair quarterback you. I'm just talking about from a jury perspective. I know that jury wanted to hear from those boys. They wanted to hear from somebody to tell you something about the character of those boys. Let's talk about felony murder, because maybe this is confusing to some of you. A rule of law that holds that if a killing occurs during the commission of or attempted commission of a felony, which is some major crime, the person or persons responsible for the felony can be charged with a murder. And you think that's unfair?
Totally.
Yes.
Okay, but understand, you said they didn't kill Danzele, but there's an element of law, and I think the words are even in this jury charge that you have to think about, and that is the but-for test. But for them entering that house, would Danzele have been shot by that homeowner? And the answer is no.